the Nintendo Switch could be the greatest console to have ever been released. It's been called a freaking RPG powerhouse. Can't argue with that. It's been called the most innovative console of this generation, maybe even since the Nintendo Wii. Can't argue with that. And it's been known to have an absolute shed load of remasters and remakes. Can't argue with that either. But all of these reasons, and more, are why I love me some Nintendo Switch. And yeah, I'm going to sit here for 10 plus minutes because it deserves it. And you can't argue with that. So what are your top 10 or even just your number one favourite Switch game? Let me know down below in the comments and I'll answer every one of them. Hello everyone, Lexitan Gaming here, you there, and today is a special day because I'm going through my top 10 Nintendo Switch games. As of right now, it can change. Of course, I haven't played every Nintendo Switch game out there, and I haven't even played every one that I own. Here's just a couple of those.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Sadly, won't be making today's list. But from what I have played, these are my favourites. And as I say with all of my top 10s, please remember, this is my list. Don't be coming at me in the comments saying, I forgot your favourite game. Because I haven't. I just think it sucks. And my opinions are better and mean more, let's be honest. Please subscribe if you got angry or add a little giggle to that. Come on, it's free. With that being said, let's get into it. Number 10, Astral Chain. Talk about an unexpected Holy Mother Teresa. This game came out of nowhere for me. It wasn't even on my radar, but I had seen a few people talk about it and I decided to give it a little go, and I had a little bit more than a little go. Set in a dystopian / cyberpunk future Earth, Astral Chain is a very stylish action game from Platinum Games, where you play this rookie cop in a futuristic city. Yeah, sounds pretty fun right off the bat, doesn't it? Ty, do you get it?
You getting me?
With having a legion, a living weapon, as your partner for battles. Oh god, I just want to play this game again, to be honest with you. The synergy where you're using both parties in one action, like using the chain to bind enemies, having 5 different legions to switch between, each with their own unique combat and puzzle solving abilities. Yeah, this game's got a lot going on, just from the gameplay alone. The visuals were breathtaking at the time, especially seeing as it is on the Nintendo Switch. And the story I can't really spoil, but my god, trust me, it's gripping. I love detective shows and being able to pick apart a crime scene and kind of investigate myself. And as well as kicking some serious ass, amazing. I just couldn't keep this off the list. Number 9, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. So far, the only Dragon Quest game I've actually played, but what a way to be introduced to the series. If you're unfamiliar, doubt you are, Dragon Quest has been around since the NES days, first making his way to the Famicom in Japan in May of 1986. It's been a while, yeah. I'd heard so much about this series, mainly from my number one YouTube channel, The Happy Console Gamer, and just seeing his love and passion for the Dragon Quest series, I knew I had to try it one day. And when 11 released, it was time. Well, I did wait for the Switch version later on, but it was still time. It was still time. And wow. I knew the game was going to be good, but wow. The cel-shaded graphics fit this type of game perfectly, and it was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous!
The music for the series, as I understand it, is always brilliant, and the fully orchestrated, I believe, score across this entire game was nothing short of beautiful. And even though I haven't played this game in many years, I can still hear numerous tracks that just go through my head on a daily basis, to be honest with you. It's a Square Enix JRPG that still does the turn-based battle system, and I loves it. Love me some turn-based, baby. And for me, while there was a good story, the biggest and best part of the game were the characters, especially the ones in your party. Sylvando, need I say more? Well, maybe I could a little. The bromance that becomes between you, the luminary, and Eric, the witty thief. Come on. We got the OTT sisters, Serena and Veronica too. Look, there's more, there's way more. And if I talked about every aspect of this game, I'd be here for longer than the game lasts, which is forever. Not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. Yes, you can play the whole thing as a 2D RPG, like the good old days. What's not to love? Number 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Easy there, fella. Easy. I know you're thinking, how the hell can Mario Kart 8 Deluxe be at number 8? And there's a simple reason that I will get to, but for now, yes, this is the best Mario Kart game I've ever played. Sorry, Mario Kart World. It just is. All of the previous characters, well, close enough. And all of the previous tracks, well, close enough. The tightest controls in the series for me, and it just looks beautiful, okay? However, I hardly played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch because I played more of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'm that guy. While I made many great memories with Deluxe for sure, I just spent so much more time on the original on the Wii U. And for good reason. I got this in my first year at university. Granted, we did not play it as much as Smash, but we still played it a hell of a lot. And I was astounded by the graphics at the time. I got the Mario Kart 8 bundle with the Wii U, and it was the first game I put in, so yeah, I could not believe what I was seeing. HD Mario Kart for the first time. And yes, the Deluxe got all the DLC, it definitely sold a hell of a lot more copies, and it would have been higher on the list for sure if I'd have gotten to it first. Number 7, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. So at the time of filming this, I just got done finishing this game last weekend. So recency bias? Possibly. But then again, it's Final Fantasy Tactics. And unlike the previous entry, this was the first time I played this game. It never came out in PAL regions on the PS1, the original version, and I just never got round to the PSP version. And when it was announced, I got scared. Only because this was the first tactical RPG that I would ever play. Well, that's not true. I did give Valkyria Chronicles a go on the PS3 many moons ago, and it just was, I couldn't get into it. It didn't feel very me. It wasn't my type of game. But you know what is? Final mother-flubbing fantasy.
That's your profanity.
I'd always heard of the tales of this game for years. How it's criminally underrated and might be the best Final Fantasy that ever was. Then in the following years, not so much underrated because everyone rates it. I had to see what everyone was talking about, and boy, did I. A gripping story full of betrayal, morality, family feuds, royal hypocrisy, and even love. It literally has it all. So many intriguing characters to play as, and a battle system I just found flawless. The job system was definitely interesting and tough, for being honest, to get my head around for a while. But as soon as I did, it was smooth sailing from then on out. The music, just flawless. It was classic Final Fantasy, classic Square, just brilliant. I put over 50 hours of pure love into this game, and I could have easily put another 50 into it if I wanted to get everything. And it's the reason I like tactical RPGs now. So, Fire Emblem, I'm coming for you next. Number 6, Luigi's Mansion 3. Now then. Other than that, this is one of the most fun games for me to play in co-op ever. I got this the day it came out, knowing that it was co-op and that the missus really wanted to play it, and up until that point, I had never, ever played a Luigi's Mansion game before. It was a no-brainer. I was weary at first, like how can they make a game about Mario's brother running around being scared of ghosts and make it entertaining for longer than a cup of coffee? What an idiotic boob I was back then. So Mario was in the game, but he's the one that needs rescuing this time, along with everyone else, of course. And Luigi has been kidnapped by King Boo and put into a haunted hotel. And to save everyone, it's time for the green Italian plumber to take all obstacles head on. So this should be fun. And fun it was. We've really enjoyed the different themed levels or floors of the mansion, and of course using the poltergeist vacuum to hoover up any unwanted company. But of course, the best part was the introduction to the gooey version of Luigi, Gooigi.
That's the joke.
This edition allowed us to play through this adventure together, and that's why it makes the list. Number 5, Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door. I never played this on GameCube, first of all, which is why I couldn't leave it off this list, because it is fantastic. Yes, everyone was right. And to be honest, this entry was between Super Mario RPG and The 1,000-Year Door. And after a little deliberation, it was pretty obvious to me that this one definitely, I'm not going to say caught me off guard more, because people definitely sung its praises over the years, but Super Mario RPG had this aura, I think that's what the kids call it, but this one completely blew me away. Great storytelling, an engaging battle system where you can block oncoming attacks, memorable boss fights and villains across the board. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this little RPG that has Mario in it, except chapter 3, the never-ending chapter. But hey, everything after that had its own brilliance and uniqueness to it, and I always only look back at it fondly, even chapter 3. Number 4, Super Mario Odyssey. So many Mario games on the Switch, and a lot of them being remasters. But yes, this one is the standout for me. And we loved, adored Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Don't get me wrong, we had some great times with that. But Odyssey was the game I've been waiting for since Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Poor Wii U. It had its flaws for sure. And for me, the biggest one being it never had its own 3D Mario game. No, 3D World doesn't count, even if it's got 3D in the name. It wasn't really, which is unheard of. This hadn't happened since Super Mario 64, and I was specifically wanting more of that, more Mario 64. Look, Sunshine, the Galaxies, I adored them, but there was a certain feel about 64, and once I saw the trailer for this game, I started to get those feels again. Did it turn out to be my favourite? No, and that's okay, because there's no bad Mario game. Go away! You don't count. In my eyes. Oof, probably pissed some people off there, didn't I? Odyssey was a magical trip, nostalgia-filled, full of new things to do. And Cappy, yeah, what an inclusion. How the hell do you make a hat that fun, unique, and, let's be honest, game-breaking? It's insane to watch some of the speedrunners and what tricks they can pull off with this thing that just sits on your head. Now, of course, it's a Mario game. The music's top-notch, as well as the gameplay. And the visuals, a 3D Mario game in HD, a feast for the eyes, that's for sure. And the story, yeah, Bowser kidnapped Peach. But who the hell plays Mario for the story anyway? I still pick this up from time to time and just be exactly where I left off, and I love that I can do that. And I'm having the same amount of fun that I did like 9 years ago. They're gonna struggle to top this one, and that's a guarantee. Number 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What else can I say about this game? I talked a lot about it in a dedicated Smash Bros. Video. Wow, look at that thumbnail. I'll go over it briefly here, but I got it day one. I was definitely addicted to it for 2-3 years. I wasn't good, even after over 500 hours, but I still love Smash Bros. And probably this one the most. Number 2, Metroid Dread. Dread was the feeling I got when I first started playing this game. Now hear me out. I had tried many years ago to play Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. I tried and failed. I just didn't understand it. I didn't know what I had to do. I'd never played a Metroidvania before. I had no idea what that name even meant. And I just went head first into it because the internet told me it was a good game. So just like any good teenager, after failing, I sold it. Probably for beer and cigs or something. I was a different guy back then. Well, I was a boy. Really. God, that sounds bad now when I think about it. Anyway, I regretted it almost instantly, and it took me a while to pick that copy back up. But fast forward like 10 years or something, and we got this. So yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous about being bad at this type of game again, but also nervous because that one thing won't stop chasing me. Those nerves quickly diminished, however, and I loved my time with it. The eerie setting, darker surroundings, and flawless gameplay just got me so hooked. And I actually ended up enjoying the backtracking this time around. Being able to go back and do now what I couldn't before with this new piece of equipment I got, awesome. And I remember some of those boss battles absolutely blowing me away. And yeah, While the last one might have taken me a minute, it was a joy. The iconic villain, leader of the space pirates, Ridley, didn't make an appearance, but the enemy robots and Ravenbeak were more than good enough. Well, not good. The opposite of good. Quite evil, actually, but you get what I mean. And the cherry on the cake, my love for Metroid Dread actually led me to finally going back to Super Metroid and beating it. And I adore this game too. Full circle, baby. Number 1, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Duh. What else was it gonna be? The build-up waiting years for just a little smidge of news, buying a Wii U in preparation and being disappointed constantly. Month after month, we got nothing. And then January 12th, 2017 happened, and I stayed up all night watching the Nintendo Switch presentation. Full of hope and happiness and dread and desperation. It had been almost 4 years since the first trailer. I need more. And I didn't get it. So I thought. But then at the end of the stream, you can see a familiar looking person playing a familiar looking game in the background while Reggie Fils-Aimé was talking. And Reggie, being his ever so charismatic self, was just an afterthought. I was literally trying to move my head to try and see what was behind him. And he's hinting, and there they are. Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of the Legend of Zelda series, playing it. Is this it? Is it happening? Is it... Yeah! Producer Anuma is here. What's going on? Portable Zelda. It's happening. Show me more. What the hell is going on? Give it to me. I need it. Give it to us.
Save her, my daughter.
Launch game! I don't need to say much more than that. It was my favourite Switch game from that point on. I loved everything about this new game. The open world environments really were its own thing entirely. It mattered so much more here. The character customization, the characters you meet on the way, the endless exploring. And for a Zelda game, I thought the story was precious. I could probably talk about this game for years, but I put hundreds of hours into it, and I loved quite literally every single second. It's the best game on the Switch. I loved Tears of the Kingdom as well, but this started it. It's the best game on the Switch, and it's probably the best game I've ever played, if I'm being honest. Thanks for watching my silly little list. If you liked the video, give it a like. Cheers.
Open your eyes.